Hi guys, and welcome to what is a different sort of video that we've seen so far on this channel, and one that is going to come into a new sort of series on this channel. And today I am predicting how I feel the Formula 1 season is going to end. Now, if you know me relatively well, you know that I'm a Formula 1 fan. I'm not a super diehard fan, but I do follow it quite often. I try and watch as many races as I possibly can. So we're going to jump in and we're going to predict how the season is going to go. We're going to go through the Constructors and then the Drivers' Championship. And like I say, this is going to be part of a new series. So I'm going to predict all sorts. If there's anything you want me to predict, please do let me know down below. It doesn't matter if I have any clue about it or not, because that is going to be part of this series. I've got the I'm going to do the Oscars predictions at some point, and I don't watch movies, so that is going to be a lot of fun. Different sort of sports as they come around, we'll predict them. I don't know anything about golf, but we'll predict golf. I don't know anything about NBA, but we'll do NBA. We'll do all that sort of stuff. Grammys, BAFTAs, Brits, politics, anything you want me to predict, do let me know down below. But without further ado, shall we go and jump into my predictions for the Constructors' Championship in the 2021 F1 season. Now, you can say I follow it. I don't particularly follow it in depth. I don't really know what's happening in testing. I'm recording this after testing is finished. I'm recording this about a week and a half before the season is due to start. This video will come out on the Friday of first testing for the first race, which is in Bahrain. So, perfect timing, really. And Williams have been the back marker for the past couple of years. Let's go and see if I think that's going to continue going forward, or if there is going to be a new team down at the bottom. Now, in 10th place in the Constructors' Championship, I have a team that has struggled pretty recently, over recent years, in terms of finances, in terms of competitiveness. And this year, coming into this year's championship, they've got rid of their two drivers and brought in two rookie drivers from F2, and that is Haas. I'm expecting them to finish at the bottom of the Constructors, probably not even scoring a point. Now, ahead of them in 9th place, I have resident back markers, Williams. I'm expecting them to score a few points here and there, be better than Haas. Minor improvements. Obviously, the restrictions on the cars this year, they can't change too much from last year, but I think they'll take a few steps forward. They have two pretty good young drivers here in Latifi and George Russell, who is a world champion in the making. And Russell will probably be the one getting the points for Williams. He is a better driver than Latifi. Like I say, Latifi is a good driver, but George Russell is just absolutely fantastic. Ahead of them in 8th place, I have Alfa Romeo. Another one that are sort of stagnating in recent years. They have the experience of Kimi Raikkonen trying to help drive them forward. And Antonio Giovinazzi, who looks a decent prospect, sort of a decent midfield driver. I'm expecting him to struggle, get more points than Williams, but not really set the world alight at all. Ahead of them, I have AlphaTauri in 7th place. They have the rookie Tsunoda in the team for this year, as well as Pierre Gasly, of course, race winner last season. They should again be decent. The team to Red Bull. I'm not expecting any race victories from them this year, but who knows? Obviously we saw what happened last season. It could happen, but I'm not predicting big things for them this season. Just a steady season. And of course, this is the start of the midfield where it is so tight, and I don't think it'll be many points at all between them. But a team that I have above them have the experience in my eyes to beat them, and that is Alpine. Of course, they have Esteban Ocon, great driver himself in his own right, but they're returning Fernando Alonso. Now, I'm good on this basis that Fernando Alonso is one of the best drivers to have ever gotten behind the wheel of an F1 car. It might take him a few races to get back up to speed. Of course, he had his accident as well over the spring. That could potentially affect him a little bit, But as soon as he starts to get the grips of that car, he is going to be a solid driver, as Fernando Alonso is. We all know that. Now, above them in 5th place, again, that experience mixed with a decent young driver. Pay driver in Lance Stroll. I have Aston Martin in 5th place. He might be a pay driver. Obviously, his dad owns the team, so probably doesn't count as a pay driver, but he is a great talent in his own right. And partnering up with Seb Vettel, he will drive Aston Martin forward, literally. He will help them improve the car. I'm no Seb fan by any stretch of the imagination, but he was done wrong by Ferrari over the past couple of years. That's not going to happen, or shouldn't happen to him this year, Aston Martin. And I think they might sneak a couple of podiums every now and again. Now, the team that I have in 4th place, I'm expecting to get a few podiums, and that is McLaren. Might shock people to see them down in 4th place, but I would say it's going to be incredibly tight between them, Aston Martin, Alpine, and Ferrari. So yeah, I've just put them in 4th place. Lando Norris, incredible driver, one of my favourites on the grid. And to be fair, this is probably my best driver pairing because I absolutely love Ricciardo as well. Another incredible driver, always happy-go-lucky, smile infectious, and just some of the moves he makes is fantastic. So I'm expecting McLaren to get a few podiums this season, maybe even sneak a race victory in there. 3rd place, I'm expecting to put last year behind him. Like I said earlier, they're not going to change too much because of the restrictions around this year. But as long as Ferrari can sort out their strategy, for one, and not make stupid strategy calls as they were in the 2020 season, and reliability, then they will get podiums, maybe a race win here and there. Obviously, Charles Leclerc is again a world champion for the future, and Carlos Sainz, we'll see how he steps up as well. This is a big challenge for him, but he is a quality driver. He's shown that he deserves this chance at Ferrari, so I'm expecting him to come in 3rd place this season. 2nd place might not be too much of a surprise, but I am going for Red Bull Racing. Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen, good partnership. Max Verstappen, a generational talent, basically, pretty much one of the best since Hamilton burst onto the scene. Just a shame that the Mercedes and Lewis himself are just that level above. But Max will win races this season. He will challenge all season long. Red Bull, solid 2nd place, locked in. Perez, again, as soon as he gets to grips to Red Bull, I think he'll do good, but Max is just a level above. So I don't think it matters who you're going to partner with Max, unless it's possibly Charles or Lewis, then Max is going to make them look poor, unfortunately. So in 1st place, I have Mercedes for championship number 8 in a row. This will be Constructors' Championship number 8 in a row for them. Mostly because of the restrictions on car changes. They've just been dominant throughout this whole era. Yeah, definitely. So let's move on to the drivers' standings. Now, I actually did the drivers' standings first and used that to figure out how I thought the constructors was going to finish. So in 20th place, Nikita Mazepin, the pay driver. Controversy around him coming into this season. Yeah, I think he's going to struggle. Definitely going to struggle this season in a poor car. Decent driver, but all this is going off around him as well. He's going to struggle. 19th place, I've got Mick Schumacher. Better driver than Nikita. He's going to have many years in the sport without a doubt. Obviously, his name carries a lot of weight, but he has the talent to back that up. Definitely. He will have probably a couple of years at Haas and then move on to Ferrari. Quite possibly alongside Charles as well. So I'm expecting a decent season for him. Maybe pick up a point or two, depending on how some of the races go. But not expecting too much at all from Haas. In 18th place, I have Yuki Tsunoda in the AlphaTauri. Again, the rookie driver. This one's perhaps a big call because he's in a decent AlphaTauri car. And I have 3 teams below them So yeah, a big ask for him basically to finish that low. But I don't know, just a feeling that I have. I'm expecting him to be beaten 17th place by Nicholas Latifi of the Williams. Like I said, maybe a point here or there for them. I don't think he will get any points, maybe one or two. But I think he'll beat Sonoda, definitely. 16th place comes the Alpha of Giovinazzi. I think he'll score a solid amount of points. I say solid amount of points, 5 to 10, but I think Latifi will only get 1 or 2. And he's going to be beaten by his teammate, Kimi Raikkonen, who's going to be in 15th place. Kimi's experience, I think, is going to help him beat his teammate again. And Antonio's going to look to learn from Kimi, I believe. Kimi probably, again, 5 to 10 points. 14th place is George Russell. Now, I don't think the gap between Giovinazzi, Raikkonen and Russell is going to be big enough that Russell's points are going to take Williams above Alpha. But I think he will finish above both Alpha drivers. And I think that's biased because I just love George so much. Incredible driver. It's a tough one because we saw with this season just gone, he might get a chance in the McLaren car again. We don't know how COVID is going to affect this forward. Obviously, the world is having the vaccines now. Things are slowly getting back to normal, but cases are still happening. All it takes is a close contact for Bottas, Lewis, and George is going to get that seat again. And if he gets that seat again, he's going to get a big boost of points, probably even a race win. That's going to boost him up the table. So hit and miss, but I'm going on the basis that he's going to be in the Williams all season. 13th place, I have Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin. This is the midfield, and it's just such a tough call. This could be anyone virtually from 5th down to 13th, could finish in any position. I'm just throwing Lance Stroll in 13th place. Beaten in 12th place by Esteban Ocon in the Alpine car. Similar reasons, anyone's call there. Then in the other AlphaTauri, I have Pierre Gasly in 11th place, and that's what's going to take him above Alpha. Obviously, I've got Tsunoda struggling, but Gasly is going to be up there in the midfield. Decent amount of points, possibly a podium. A big ask, I think, but we saw crazy races last year. It could very much happen. 10th place, returning to Formula 1, I have Fernando Alonso. So I think it'll take him a few races to get back into the swing of things. Be interesting to see how his injury actually affects him. I know he's got a plate in his jaw for this season. So yeah, I think middle of the pack for him. 9th place, I said how much I admire this driver is Lando Norris. One of the bright sparks of the early part, definitely, of the 2020 season. But just a solid driver, solid, quick driver. Fantastic guy. I haven't met him, but just from how his personality comes across in the car, in interviews, every time you see him, just a lovable guy. And like I say, fantastic driver as well. Beating him in 8th place, and I'm going off the experience here, I've got Sebastian Vettel. Now, I don't think he'd be too happy to drop down into 8th place, considering last season was a struggle for him as well. I think Aston Martin will have teething issues this season, definitely. And it'd be interesting to see how long Seb has left in the sport. I think he'll give them a couple of years for the new regulations to come in, see how things are going then, and then he may call it a day. 7th place, Carlos Sainz. Again, very fast driver. He's in the Ferrari. I'm expecting to do a little bit better this season. He'll struggle to get the grips, I think, with the step up immediately. I say step up. If Ferrari of last year turns up, then it's not much of a step up at all, is it? Yeah, like I say, tough call. Anyone from most of these positions could be anywhere. And that's the whole point of this series. We just throw random names in random places. 6th place in the McLaren, I have Danny Rick. I really wanted to put him higher, but I just couldn't. I don't know why. I think in my head I've got Ferrari more overpowered than they actually are. So yeah, Danny Ric slots into 6th place. 5th place, Sergio Perez in the Red Bull. I think he may possibly sneak a race win. The odd few podiums here and there, but should be enough for him to beat Danny Ric. 4th place in the other Ferrari, Charles Leclerc. I think he'll definitely win a race this season. In fact, I'm saying it right now. Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari will win at least one race this season and be on the podium at least times. That'd be enough to put him into 4th place again, ahead of the people below him. 3rd place. Now the top 3, I had these drivers set in stone instantly. Just in which position? So in 3rd place, I have gone with the Mercedes of Lewis. No, I haven't. I've gone with the Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas in 3rd place. A great driver. It'd be very tough for anyone to be alongside Lewis Hamilton, without a doubt. Lewis is, well, he is the GOAT. It is that simple. He is the greatest of all time. And Bottas is a great driver. It's just unlucky that his teammate is levels ahead of everyone. So it's going to become down between Bottas and Max. And for me, Max has the sort of fearlessness that Valtteri doesn't have to make crucial moves when needed and push more. And I guess Max is more than number 1 in Red Bull, whereas Valtteri isn't in Mercedes, and Max will get advantages that Valtteri won't. So that is sort of playing into it a little bit. And you can probably guess that I have Max Verstappen in 2nd place here for Red Bull. I think he'll get 3 or 4 race wins this season. Valtteri probably get 3 or 4 as well. But yeah, Max in 2nd place, possibly closing the gap a little bit on Lewis to previous seasons. But I still have Lewis Hamilton in 1st place, winning Drivers' Championship number 8, and 10 plus race wins. 10 plus, definitely. So yeah, I don't know what to say about Lewis that probably haven't heard before. I mean, if you're watching this video, you're probably an F1 fan. If not, then you probably think, oh, he knows his stuff. I don't, like I say, I don't really follow it that much. I feel like this is more of an educated guess than anything else. But these are my predictions. We will come back to it at the end of the F1 season and see how well I've actually done. Like I say, I'm recording this on the 16th of March, so about a week and a half before the season starts, and it will be coming out on the day of the first practice session. And we may have some indication after that first race of how well these predictions look. Who knows? So yeah, like I say at the start of this episode, if you do want to see me predict anything else in particular, then please do let me know, either down below in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter, let me know on there. If you got me on Discord, drop me a message on Discord, let me know what you want me to predict. I will give it a go. And the Oscars want to be coming out over the next few weeks, obviously before the Oscars actually happen. And I don't watch movies, so I'm just gonna pick names out. That I'm gonna have nominations up and I pick names out. And yeah, it's gonna be the start of a new series. It's gonna be a bit different. So please do let me know what you think of this series as well. If you think this is a interesting idea for a series or not, hit me up down below, let me know. And if you have enjoyed this, you can also let me know by smashing that thumbs up button. Get this around to people who are F1 fans, so they can see how I feel this season's going to end. If you're an F1 fan yourself, drop your predictions down below. If you're not, drop your predictions down below anyway. We'll come back to them at the end of the season and see how things actually go. Please do subscribe to the channel for more predictions, for gaming content, and I do have a couple of other series planned for the near future, just a bit of work on them before they come out as well. Until next time, stay safe. Have a good one. Have a hope for a great F1 season, some fantastic races, and I'll see you next time.